idea yesterday of that concept of ease. And sometimes when your body has stuck stuff, it's hard to feel ease. But the important thing is that you work on clearing the stuck stuff. And it is a process, it's an ongoing process. And many of us know that, when you start to age, then things get trickier in the body, right? And so things get cloudier, more tense, more difficult to work through. And so finding the ease is hard, which takes a dedicated practice, right? Which is why many of you show up here sometimes even twice in one day to clear, to make things more even and balanced in the body, and to create more ease, or sukha. So as you shift your sitting bones, again, think of your seat as an important place to start to tune into that ease. So sit up on something, prop yourself, whatever you need to do to feel more comfortable, more easeful. And then as you let your hands rest down on your legs, however you're sitting, draw your shoulders up and back, close your eyes and take a full deep breath, starting to let your breath become more clear, more easeful, allowing movement to happen as deeply as is comfortable, not trying to force it to go further, but inhaling and exhaling out of the nose. And then even noticing as you bring your awareness to your breath, that sometimes your breath starts to become more easeful just by noticing it. Sometimes it doesn't. So without any judgment, notice what the effect of your noticing is. With a few little shifts, little micro movements in the body, sit just a little bit taller. And then take a deep, deep breath, filling up belly, ribs, and chest as you inhale. Chest, ribs, and belly release as you exhale. Thinking of those three parts as allowing you to expand on the inhale, allowing you to contract a little bit on the exhale. 2 more deep breaths. Then draw hands to connect at heart center and press palm against palm. Lift your shoulders up and back, lengthen up through the back of your neck, and take a full breath. On your exhale, bow toward your heart. Then softly opening your eyes, release your hands down. Gently roll your shoulders back a few times. Start to move a little bit through your head and your neck, and even think of adding some of that ear to shoulder action into this movement. But feel free to add a nod, a shake, whatever feels the best to your shoulders and your neck, or whatever helps you to feel more clear. And now come back into center and reach your arms straight ahead. Long, straight arms reaching forward with your fingertips, and then plug in with your shoulder blades, draw them onto your back. And now turn your palms up. So you're turning your elbow pits upward. This is your external arm bone rotation. You're gonna keep that. Keep shoulder blades hugging onto your back as you inhale and reach your arms up overhead, as high as they need to go. Exhale, release your arms back down. This time they can come all the way towards your lap if you want. Keep shoulder blades plugged in. Inhale, lift your arms up. And exhale, arms come back down. Take 3 more this way at your own pace. And as you move, just remember that you're going only to that place where your shoulder blades can stay engaged, where you can keep that external arm bone rotation, and where you can breathe. Then release your arms down, give your shoulders a couple rolls back. Side to side movement with your head and neck. Then back into center now. Elbows hugged by your sides, your palms are lifted upright, and then rotate your upper arm bones, coming into gratitude here. Elbows are hugging in by your sides. Take an exhale, draw your low ribs in. Inhale, lift your shoulders up and back. Your head is lifted, so think of the crown of your head lifting, your upper palate lifting. Now take a couple big breaths here, and as you inhale, lift your shoulders up. Exhale, lower shoulders back down. Like you're shrugging on the inhale and releasing on the exhale. One more, inhale and exhale. Now hands come in front to clasp, pull forward with your arms and round back through your spine, coming into this cat-like pose. Chin tucks in. Then take a couple, excuse me, big breaths, moving a little bit side to side through your shoulders. Inhale, sit tall, switch the cross of your legs. And move your sitting bones. And now bringing your left fingertips beside your hip, take your right hand and bring it behind the back of your head. Send your head back into your hand, put both shoulder blades onto your back, and then keeping your right shoulder blade engaged onto your back, start to lift straight up with your elbow. Yeah, good. Now turn a little more open with your right elbow so it's actually moving open to the right side and back. Take a big deep breath and put your left shoulder blade on your back. Inhale, come back up to center and bring right fingertips to the ground beside your hip. Left hand to the back of your head. Send your head back into your hand. Open your elbow up. Now plug in with both shoulder blades and start to turn your left elbow more open and back. Keep your right shoulder blade engaged even as you turn your left shoulder more open. Inhale back into center, and now bring your hands in front to clasp again. Pull forward with your arms, round back through your spine. Good counter pose here. Chin tucks in. And this time, instead of moving side to side through shoulders, you're going to take a really deep breath into your rhomboids, or that space in between your shoulder blades. Inhale, sit tall, and now clear through your spine. Hands come to your knees. Exhale, press your spine back. Inhale, draw your heart forward, lifting up through your chest. Exhale, press back. Inhale, heart forward. One more time, exhale, press back. Then inhale, sit tall. Now come forward onto your hands and your knees. And from your hands and knees, set yourself up, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. And then as you root down through your palms, take a moment here to find that external arm bone rotation, turning elbow pits forward. As you do that, inevitably that part of your palm that attaches to your first finger wants to pop up, but try to glue that down into the ground. Then take a full deep exhale, push your hands down, puff up through that space in between your shoulder blades. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog pose. Hard thing about moving to down dog, many things depending on how down dog feels, but keeping that external arm bone rotation is tough. So shift a little forward, re-rotate, and then shift your shoulders back. Bend your knees and send your sitting bones up. And then take a couple big breaths, playing around with a few movements. Maybe bend one knee at a time, maybe sway your hips, maybe shift forward and back a few times with your shoulders. And then walk your way forward, coming into your forward fold at the front of your mat. Locks for your hands if you would like, and you can even take your feet a little wider than your hips if you would like to. A little bend to your knees. Inhale and lengthen partway. Keep that bend to your knees, hands above your knees, and exhale, fold over your legs. Let the back of your neck get long and clasp your hands behind the back of your neck. Letting your elbows release down. Take a couple big breaths and add a couple sways here.
As you sway, if you think about getting longer from hip to armpit, then maybe you'll find a little added length as you inhale and rise just a tiny bit up, and exhale, fold over your legs. Then bring your hands up to your knees and then walk your way up your legs, coming all the way up to standing. And then walk your feet into inner hip distance apart and parallel. Lift and spread your toes and then push down. Inhale, stretch up overhead. And then pause with your hands reaching up. Rotate elbow pits so they're trying to turn back, just like when we were lifting our arms up and down. Shoulder blades engage. Engage your low belly and your low ribs. Inhale, lift your chest up higher. Exhale, now turn your palms to fold over your legs. Inhale and lengthen part way. Exhale and fold. Plant your fingertips, right foot steps back into your lunge. And from here, you're welcome to have knee up or down, your choice on that back leg. Center off your hips, and then bring your hands up to your hips to rise. Push down with your hands on your hips and lift your sides. Brush shoulder blades onto your back, and now engage low belly and low ribs. Inhale, lift your chest up higher. Exhale, hands come down to the front of your mat. Find whatever you're using for blocks and walk your hands to the inside, pivoting on your legs to come to a wide stance fold, facing the right side. So now look at the pinky toe edges of your feet and bring them to parallel to each other. Little bend to your knees, send your sitting bones up. As you exhale, fold as deeply over your legs as your body needs. You can always bring forearms down onto blocks here, or maybe you use a bolster. Or you can have hands at the ground, or even reaching back behind you. Wherever that is for you, do a little tiny bend to one knee and then the other knee. Just a little bit of wake up through the hamstrings, the hips, the low back. Allowing yourself to start to clear and feel whatever's present. Then inhale, lift up with your heart. Exhale, pivot, turning your torso toward the front of your mat, pivoting on your feet. And then step all the way back, downward facing dog pose. Take a big breath. Rotate elbow pits forward and push. Hands into the ground. Think of pushing all the way from your lats and letting sitting bones lift. Inhale, come forward into your plank pose. Feel free to use knees down here if you would like, but re-rotate your upper arm bones and extend your chest. On your exhale, lower all the way down. Inhale, curl open as high as your body needs. Really focus on allowing shoulders to be broad and open as opposed to squishing up towards your ears. Big deep breath. Exhale, downward facing dog pose. Take a big inhale here. Exhale, walk your way forward, coming into your forward fold at the front of your mat. Take an inhale and lengthen. Exhale and fold. Plant fingertips, you're stepping left foot back this time into your lunge. And again, you can always have back knee down here if you would like, or it can stay lifted. Go ahead and rise up into your lifted lunge, centering with your hips, settling into your front knee. Push down onto your hips and find that big lift through your sides, through your chest, your heart space. And then hug elbows back toward each other, feeling shoulder blades engage, then engage your low ribs and your low belly. Use an exhale to help. Inhale, shoulders and chest lift. Exhale, hands come down to the front of your mat. Again, use blocks here if you would like to. Walk hands and begin to pivot so you're facing the left side this time in your wide stance fold. Take a look at the pinky toe edges of your feet and bring them to parallel to each other. Lift and spread your toes, lift your arches up. Inside edge of your legs is firing up when you do that. Little bend to your knees, send your sitting bones up. On your exhale, fold as deeply as your body needs. And again, that could always be on the ground here. It could be with your hands on something. It could be reaching back behind you or even holding the outside edges of your legs. Big breath. Sitting bones tilt up. Take one more big breath. Inhale, extend your heart. Hands to blocks if you would like. And then pivot again, coming toward the front of your mat. Plant hands, step back, downward facing dog pose. Deep breath. Inhale, come forward into your plank. Use knees if you would like to. Find elbow pits rotating and push, extend. Exhale, lower. Inhale, curl up and open as high as your body is ready for. Maybe you rise up a little higher this time. Maybe you stay low. Big breath. Exhale, downward facing dog pose. Full deep inhale, long full exhale. And lower knees down, hips to heels, take a child's pose. Take 3 more deep breaths in your child's pose. And now inhale, rise to hands and knees. Rotate elbow pits forward and push. Toes tuck, lift your hips, downward facing dog pose. Full deep breath. And now walk your feet forward, coming into your forward fold. Take an inhale and lengthen partway. Exhale and fold. And now heel toe your feet a little wider than your hips and even take them to the outside edges of your mat. Little bend to your knees here. You can use blocks if you would like to, but send your sitting bones way up, extend your heart. Now, hips get a little bit lower, so bend your knees a little bit more. And then you're gonna reach your right hand out in front of you. And then your left hand is gonna reach back in between your legs to start to take a little twist with your torso to the right side. From this place, your left shoulder and arm can be right against your left leg here. Lift your sitting bones, press your right fingertips in, and maybe allow a little more lift through your right ribs to look underneath your right arm. Full big breath. Inhale, come back into center. And now we'll switch hands. Left hand comes out in front. Make sure you have that bend to your knees because that gives you some space to work with. Right fingertips reach back in between your legs and behind you to help you start to twist to the left side. Keep your knees bent. Your right arm gives a little press against your right leg. Your left fingertips press in. Maybe your left ribs will help you twist just a little further. Looking underneath your arm, or maybe you look over your arm, whichever works the best for your body. Inhale back into center. Lift up partway, hands above your knees, send your sitting bones up. Exhale, fold over your legs. Hands work to your legs, and then we'll make your way all the way up to standing. And then bring your feet to inner hip distance apart and parallel. Bring your hands together at your heart. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Then softly open your eyes. And now you're going to grab whatever you're using for a strap. And now bring the strap behind you. You're going to bring it up about to the low rib area, just underneath the tips of your shoulder blades. And then elbows hug in as if we were going to be in a gratitude arms place, but then hold on to your straps. Your palms are up, your strap is in your hands. From this place, start to pull diagonally out on the strap. So you'll feel that pull against your low ribs. So now push your low ribs back into the strap. Now, elbows hug in even as you start to open your hands up, rotating upper arm bones. Now push your low ribs into the strap. Keep pulling out
with your hands on the strap, open your hands up even as your elbows stay bent. Push your low ribs into the strap. This is a little modified variation of our gratitude arms. Lift your chest up, lift your heart up, lift the back of your neck up. So now, hands are moving back, low ribs pulling in. Try to lift your elbows up. Yeah, good. Keep your hands pulling out and trying to rotate back. Pull your low ribs in. Maybe a little fatigue here. I know I feel it right through my delts. Take one more big breath. And gently release the strap down. Go ahead and set it aside. Take your hands together at your heart. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Inhale, stretch up overhead. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale and lengthen part way. Exhale and fold. Plant hands, step back, downward facing dog pose. Take a deep breath. And then settle knees down, hips to heels. Take a child's pose. And then gently bring yourself all the way up to your seat. And from here, come all the way down to sitting bones. We'll take one forward fold here. So stretching your legs out in front of you, flex your feet. Bring your fingertips to the floor beside you and lift your chest. And from here, with your feet flexed, walk your feet in just a little bit so you have a bend to your knees. Move sitting bones. Take an inhale and lengthen part way. Not lengthen part way, but lengthen. Exhale, fold over your legs. Maybe you reach out and take a hold of your toes, right? Sometimes that's a little bit easier when you've given yourself a bend to your knees. So inhale and extend your heart. Pull back on your toes. Exhale, if it works for your body, you can work your legs towards straight. If you're a hyperextender, you're not going to bring them all the way to straight. As a matter of fact, push your heels down and drive them back. Sometimes that helps you not to hyperextend. Inhale, extend your heart. Exhale, maybe you fold just that little bit further. Take 3 more deep breaths right here. Then inhale, gently work your way back up to a tall spine. Work your feet in, and you're gonna make your way all the way down onto your back. Make sure you can reach your strap and all of your props. And then from your back, draw your knees up close to your chest and rock just a couple times. And now we're gonna take our figure 4 pose. And I want you to think about the position of your pelvis. So as you take your figure 4, the tendency is for your low back to flatten against the ground. So I want you to think about reaching your sitting bones down. So set right foot on the ground, cross your left ankle over your right knee. Take your left hand to your upper thigh and give a little push. And then from that place, tilt your pelvis so that you have a little lift through your low back. Your sitting bones are moving down. Now the tricky part is to bring your legs towards your chest, keeping that tilt. You bring them as close as your body is ready to go, okay? And so as you think about that, notice where you are, and if it's in your practice, you're gonna take your strap, extend your right foot, and take your strap around the ball of your right foot. Give that little extra hamstring length here, holding onto the strap, or you're gonna keep your knee bent and you're gonna ignore the strap, okay? From here, tilt your pelvis again. Find that place where sitting bones are moving down. Both feet are active. Take a deep breath. And then gently bend your right knee, take the strap off of your foot,
Hold on to your left knee and foot and just rock a couple times. Just letting your low back lengthen, letting yourself sense whatever is present through your hips, your glutes, whatever's showing up. And then set left foot on the ground, cross your right ankle over your left knee. And as you begin to pick your legs up toward your body, tilt your pelvis so you have that movement of sitting bones down. And if you find that you can't find any movement there, which is natural if you have some tight hips, hamstrings, or low back, then maybe you even keep your foot on the ground. Maybe you take your strap around the ball of your left foot. And again, remember that is not a necessity, right? This is only if that tilt of your pelvis can still happen. Take a couple big breaths here. And so now hold on to the strap with your left hand if you have a hold of your foot. And take your right thumb into your right hip and give your hip a little push. So you have the hip crease to hook your thumb right in. Push your hip crease. Take a big breath. So we did this before we lifted our legs on the other side. Same idea, just creating that space. Full inhale, long, deep exhale. And then gently bend your knee. Take the strap off if you're using a strap. Hold on to your right knee and foot, and again, give a couple rocks side to side. This gives you a sense of what's happening through your low back, but also any sensation through your hip, through your glutes. And then back in the center, footprints to the floor. Drop your knees in together to touch. Take a hand to your belly and a hand to your heart. And with your eyes closed, tune into your breath. Full, deep, long inhale. Long, full exhale. And then choose a place to be for Shavasana, for your final rest, that serves your body well. So you can always add bolster or pillow underneath your legs, or grab your blanket for underneath your neck, whatever your body needs. Take some deep breaths as you start to find that place for yourself, setting yourself up. Begin to take a deeper breath. And gently move through fingers and through toes. As you're ready to, you're bending your knees and making your way over to your side, whichever side feels best. And slowly make your way all the way up to your seat. And as you connect your hands together at the heart center with your eyes closed, just notice whatever is showing up. What are the sensations? Are there any spots in your body where you feel a little bit more clear or like you can sense them a little easier? Just notice for yourself. Have a very peaceful, very beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.